Welcome to MarcusG.tv and Chef on a Mission Radio. Today's mission is imported foods, garlic specifically. Recently, I've had a really hard time finding high quality garlic. For years, the Chinese have flooded the market, the American market, with garlic, and approximately 80% of garlic in restaurants, this is according to Christopher Ranch, a spokesperson that I spoke to the other day on the phone from Christopher Ranch, says that almost 80% of garlic in restaurants is Chinese. For years, I can remember Chinese garlic being half the price or less than American garlic. So American garlic is a premium product. Over the last 2 years, Chinese garlic has slowly crept up to within maybe 20% of the price of American garlic. So Christopher Ranch or American garlic is still a premium product, and most restaurants are not willing to pay for it. They're using what I feel is inferior Chinese product.
What is the reason for that, Marcus? Why do you think restaurants aren't using that product?
It comes down to price. And when I spoke to Christopher Ranch, their big thing is to try to convince restaurants that, it's just a fraction of a penny. It's a penny a dish, 2 pennies a dish. It's a small amount of garlic you're actually using. You're not like putting on a pound of garlic for something, so it's not like you're spending all this money. It's merely coming down to small increments. But when a chef sees, I can buy something for $20 or I can buy something for $10 or $12, there's a difference in their mind, okay? Whether they're buying four packages of this garlic or 1 package or 2 cases of it, that resonates in their mind. Like, I can save $5, I can save $3, I can save $2, and garlic's garlic to most chefs. Well, so Jamie, we found a great article online here.
We sure did.
5 imported foods from China you should avoid. You want to go ahead and start reading that article? This is a great article.
Absolutely.
The Epic Times.
Chinese food scandals have made media headlines for years now. From deadly melamine in milk products to harmful honey, China has long allowed toxic food products and other dangerous exports to leave its borders. Most American media and the U.S. government have not made enough effort to inform the public that food from China may be dangerous and is rarely inspected by the Food and Drug Administration. FDA inspectors examine a mere 2.3% of all food imports. 2.3% of what comes into the country. Thus, it is left up to the consumers to safeguard their own health by making smart choices about what to put on the table.
So it's a great article. It talks about the 5 ingredients that they feel, like tilapia, cod, apple juice, mushrooms, and of course we're going to talk about garlic. So what do they say about garlic in there?
Garlic. There are many ways garlic can enter into all kinds of processed foods, right? So we can use garlic in all sorts of
Garlic's
foods.
in a lot of different processed foods, whether it's powdered garlic, dried garlic, whether there's fresh garlic in a dish, whether it's tomato sauce, whether it's a Jamaican jerk sauce, whatever it is, garlic is loaded in a lot of different types of food, even potato chips and all kinds of things.
About 250 million pounds per year is from China. You might see label organic product, but in reality, there's no third party to check and certify organic products in China.
Very true.
To turn a profit, anyone can label a product as organic.
Which is just like the fish industry. There's nobody out there regulating the seafood industry, aquaculture industry of labeling organic. They take it upon themselves to form their own regulations, their own standards, and their own certification and call themselves organic when there's no really true, body out there, legitimate, non-biased party out there. They're inspecting their products and their methods. So it's really, when you see certain products like organic chocolate from Africa, you really have to question that. There's really no organic certification there. And same thing from China. They aren't the same certifications that we're used to, or that you would pay money for. They would be reasonable or legit.
So Marcus, why is garlic a crop to be worried about?
Well, the issue with garlic is garlic grows in the ground. It absorbs the nutrients or the pollution that's in the soil. It absorbs, just like a potato absorbs. And so wherever you're growing this, it's going to absorb what it's exposed to. And the more you expose it, the more it's going to absorb. It's unlike a crop that like a leaf vegetable that's just getting exposed maybe to wind drift of pollution or pesticides or something. We all know that's going to absorb it. However, when the garlic's in the ground, that's how, like, for example, Jamie, ginseng. Ginseng is a very nutrient-dense root. Tons of nutrients because it absorbs all the nutrients that are in the soil. Same thing with garlic. It's absorbing all of that's in there. Is China polluted? You have a vast country with lots of landscapes and a lot of rural parts of China. So how bad can it be? How bad can it be, Jamie?
Well, understanding the pollution problems in China, according to the South China Morning Post, as much as 70% of Chinese rivers and lakes are polluted from industrial facilities like chemical and textile plants. Recently, residents in Chuchang, one of the less polluted provinces in China, offered 300,000 yen, which is about 50,000 American dollars, if government officials would dare to swim in the local water.
This is one of the less polluted provinces, it's saying. Now, I'm sure there's places in China that are clear and pristine and non-polluted. However, the more industry you have, the more agriculture, the more population, I'm sure there's more industry, more pollution. And I think the issue is that China doesn't have the regulations like other countries do. And I'm sure there's other countries that are just as bad, but they don't have the regulations. They're there to basically make money and make products and, and increase their gross national production.
Well, and they're there to make money.
It's money.
It's all about money. So the U.S. Embassy in Beijing releases air pollution reports every hour.
Beijing's a big city.
Americans living in Beijing depend on that information to decide whether they'll go out or not at that time.
Wow.
There have been numerous reports on China's horrific pollution of air, water, and soil. With that level of pollution, it is almost impossible to have safe food.
It's getting more impossible wherever we get our food from, but I think this is a really red flag issue, and over the years I've seen report after report after report on the terrible conditions, the possible terrible conditions in China. Like I said, I'm sure all China is not. I'm sure there's small family farms in China. I'm sure there's a lot of pristine land. I'm sure there's a lot of people doing the right thing. But when you're coming to talk about 80% of the garlic production in America in restaurants, and you're talking about mass manufactured food, you're going to have to wonder what's getting mixed into maybe a family's farm who has 5 acres, 10 acres, 15 acres. It's getting mixed in with large industrial agriculture. There's cross-contamination. There's no way that we're getting all this small family farming, because there are small family farms there, don't get me wrong. So I'm not bashing all of China, but this is a major issue and we don't know.
Most people don't know about it.
Most people don't know about it, and we don't know.
To get this information out there so that people start asking questions and
asking chefs to buy American garlic.
Right. So Marcus, why don't we have other sources of garlic? I know you spoke to Christopher Ranch. You got some information. Why was it so hard for us to get American garlic?
See, here's the immediate issue in garlic. The immediate issue in garlic is the Chinese boats got stopped here in September 2014. They got stopped. They couldn't get the proper entry into the U.S. It immediately depleted the garlic supply in the United States. Christopher Ranch garlic more than doubled, and some of my distributors that we were using, Jamie, they weren't even able to get Christopher Ranch garlic.
Right.
Now, Christopher Ranch is family owned and family operated still. They are the largest garlic producer in the U.S., but they still are family owned and operated, which is great. So their garlic, they didn't have enough garlic to supply, so they just basically their price doubled overnight. The Chinese garlic doubled overnight, and it was a disaster. And I had to really fight hard to get American garlic. And of course, we were paying so much more to begin with, and now we're paying double of that so much more to begin with. But of course, I wouldn't consider buying. I wouldn't consider eating, and I wouldn't consider buying because, again, my values that we do personally, Jamie, reflect through in our restaurant in Aromatime.
It's very important to us.
It's very important. So I'm not going to poison my guests to save a few bucks, possibly poison my guests to save a few bucks, when I know, and I have the power of knowing, and I have the knowledge there. But the real issue is, Jamie, that China, with their extremely low labor with what they pay or what they don't pay, it's impossible for other regions, other countries, including the U.S., to compete. So why would anybody in their right mind start a major garlic production or whatever they're doing? Because Christopher Ranch or the American garlic producers are a premium product, a big premium product, and not everybody's willing to pay that because we've gotten spoiled from the cheap Chinese stuff, because China has allowed that, and that's just what they do. They don't pay on a fair scale. So that's really the issue of the whole thing is China's flooded the market with cheap garlic from who knows what, from who knows where, with who knows what has in it, and nobody else is willing to step up and say, well, why should I compete? And I don't blame them. Why should they compete? Because again, most chefs, most consumers don't know, and the chefs that do know are very, might still be price conscious and say, I can't afford to buy a premium garlic and pay $5 more, $1 more a pound. Really, realistically, Jamie, it's coming down to $1 a pound.
Which is not a lot.
Not much.
When it comes to garlic. And
food safety. $1 a pound is what most chefs are sacrificing to buy Chinese garlic. That's the reality of $1 a pound is what most chefs, and it's we wouldn't do it. We honestly wouldn't do it.
It's not worth it to us.
Not worth it. So that's the issue with garlic. That's the current on garlic, and here at Aroma Time we are sticking to our American garlic, our premium garlic. And of course, local garlic's great. We use an insane amount of garlic here at the restaurant. Garlic everywhere. We probably go through 5 gallons of garlic a week when we're busy. So that's a lot of garlic. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for tuning in. If you like our videos, please pass them on, like them, and share. Thanks for watching.